last time we looked at Sankhya, numbers. So in summary, just to recap, ekah, eka, ekam. So that means back to this Koshtaka. Eka, dvi, tri, chatur. So these four numbers take different forms in three genders. So that is lingam, pullinga, strilinga, napumsakalinga, three different forms. And pancha onwards till navadasha, that is 19. They are same, nitya bahuvachanam. And then vimshatihi onwards means 20 onwards till navatihi, that is 99. They are always strilinga form, nitya ekavachanam, considered nitya ekavachanam. So we say vimshatihi balakaha, vimshatihi balikaha, so on. Navapanchashat balakaha, navapanchashat balikaha, that is 59. So I should have expanded these columns. I'll have to find where this table is in Google Drive first. Okay, so quick. Count and match, but you can just say the number here. The first kati is the word used to ask the question, how many? So kati kandukaha santi, atra Shubhashri Bhagini, kati kandukaha santi.
What is the plural? Kanduka is masculine, plural? Or three? Yeah. I'm not getting the word, Mahodaya. Forgive me.
If you have book, you can look up, or you can look up on this table.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you see?
Dve?
No.
There are three right here.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Tisraha.
Trish.
So you have to pick up one of these.
Trayaha?
Trayaha kandukaha.
Masculine, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Kandukaha is masculine, so trayaha. Yeah.
Trayaha kandukaha santi.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Rajwala Mahodaya. What is this one? Kati shirastrani santi.
Can I have a look at the table? So it's Trilinga. Chatur. No.
Kati shirastrani santi.
Let me see. Cannot. Okay. So it's चत्वारि
चत्वारि शिरस्त्राणि सन्ति जानकी प्रसाद महोदय पुनः कति शिरस्त्राणि सन्ति in the third one?
Can I have a look at the table, please?
Only one.
Is it neuter gender? Ekam sahasrani santi.
Since it is only one, so we'll have to change the sentence. So it has to be Ekam shirastram asti. Though the question we are asking how many, because there is only one, we'll change the sentence to singular, ekavachanam. Ekam shirastram asti. Okay, so next one. Asti. Nila Bhagini, next one. Kati kunchikaha santi. Nila Bhagini. Kati kunchikaha santi. Can you unmute yourself? No, okay. Sujata Bhagini, next. Kati kunchikaha santi.
Dve kunchikaha santi.
But kunchikaha you have to use in the dvivachanam now.
Dve kunchikaha staha.
But what is the dvivachana for kunchikaha?
Kunchike. Dve kunchike staha.
Dve kunchike staha. And the last one also. Kati chamasaha santi.
Pancha chamasaha santi.
Pancha, if you look at the table, it is just pancha. Pancha chamasaha santi.
धन्यवादः
धन्यवादः. What is that? This one. Okay. So Vimshati onwards, all singular, Strilingam. So just for just a quick understanding, we'll read the two columns here, Vimshati column and Trimshat column. No, Prajwala Madhya can read this first column. Ekavimshatihi.
Yes. Ekavimshatihi, Dvavimshatihi, Trayovimshatihi, Chaturvimshatihi, Panchavimshatihi, षड्विंशतिः, सप्तविंशतिः, अष्टाविंशतिः, नवविंशतिः, त्रिंशत्.
Trimshat, 30th. Okay. Then Janaki Prasad Mahoday. Can you read the next column?
एकत्रिंशत् द्वात्रिंशत् त्रयस्त्रिंशत् चतुस्त्रिंशत् पञ्चत्रिंशत् षट्त्रिंशत् सप्तत्रिंशत् अष्टत्रिंशत् नवत्रिंशत् चत्वारिंशत्.
Chatvarimshat. So the last one will change to the next number, like Navamshati, after that Trimshat, Navatrimshat, after that for 40, Chatvarimshat. And then the 41 starts with Ek, after adding this Eka, Dvar, etc. Or Dvi, Eka Chatvarimshat, Dvi Chatvarimshat, etc. Now, Ekatrimshat. Just note here, in some places, Sandhi is happening, right? For example, this one here. Trayovinshatihi, Trayastrinshat. Chaturvinshatihi, Chatustrinshat. Pancha, there is nothing because we are just adding Pancha, and here also there is a Sandhi here, Shad, Shat. Sapta, Ashta, Nama, there is nothing happening. Okay. So here, especially Trayo, Chatur, Shad, Sandhi happening here. If some people have attended the Sandhi class, or at least they know about Sandhis, only I think here Sujata Pagini knows about Sandhi. So Sujata Pagini, what do you see here? So here
Chutva Sandhi, Chatvarimshat, Chutva Sandhi.
First one is Trayo. So we have here Trayaha.
Yogaha Vimshat. Visarga Ukar.
So basically, if you Visarga Sandhi is happening, but if you go by the process, Prakriya, which we have seen in the Sandhi class, the original word for this Traya is Trayas.
Trayas.
So we can start from here.
Trayas,
and then add this Vimshati. So if you want to follow the exact the Prakriya, Vyakarana Prakriya, then you can assume that this Trayas plus Vimshati. Then obviously you know that when there is like a va is here, which is a Mrudu Vyanjanam, Hashvarna. So when there is a Hashvarna or a Swara there, then what happens to this? This becomes Yo, right? Or O.
Okara.
So there is a Mrudu Vyanjanam here. So Trayo Vimshatihi. See, these examples are given on this one. Here, Sandhi Parichaya. If you look here, Sandhi Parichaya. So here, if you scroll down, where we see that, like Ramo Rajamani, right? Aha plus Hash. You see that here?
No.
So here Aha plus Hash, which is like Trayaha plus Hash, which becomes O plus H. So Ramo Rajamani, like this. Ramaha Rajamani becomes Ramo Rajamani. So same thing is happening here. Trayaha.
Trayaha.
So here also Trayas plus Vimshatihi, Trayo Vimshatihi, and Trayas plus Trimshat. So what we have here? Trimshat. So Trimshat remains same, and we are adding Trayas plus Trimshat. And because there is a Kharvarna or Karkasha Vyanjanam, ta here. Right? In Trimishat is starting with ta, which is Karkasha Vyanjanam. So this will be remaining there. Trayas Trimshat. Thus, Karicha. So we have the Karicha, if you remember the Sutram. So there the Trayas Trimshat comes there. So does everyone knows here what is Karkasha Vyanjanam, what is Mrudu Vyanjanam? Ajjal Mahodaya.
No.
I don't know that, Neela Bhagini. I don't know that. Could you please explain?
So that I think everyone should be familiar with. Let me see. Yeah. If you go here, up here, I mean, generally you know this, there are swaras. How many letters are there? Swaras and Vyanjanas, right? In Sanskritam. A, I, U, Lulu, A, I, O, not A, I. Those swaras, and then Ka, Kha, Ga, Ga, Ja, Ja, all this Vyanjanas. That much you know?
Yes, Mahodaya.
So in that, looking at Vyanjanams are divided, can be divided into, they are divided into multiple different ways. One of the ways is they are divided as Mrudu Vyanjanam as Karkasha Vyanjanam. Mrudu Vyanjanam is the first two columns of the Vargiya Vyanjanam. Ka, Ka, Kha.
Soft sound. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, soft sounds, yes.
Okay, got it.
The other letters here, yeah. Yeah. So, Ka, Kha, these columns, Ka, Tha, Pa, Pha. And in the Avargiya, which are the Karkasha Vyanjanam? Sha, Sha, Sa. So these are Karkasha Vyanjanani, or they are also in the Vyakaranam, they are called Khar Varanaha. Khar. Okay, just remember this for now. So why we'll see later. Khar Varanaha. Why we can see it easily here. So it's clear to you. Here, if you see here, Panini has arranged these Varanas in this order in his famous Maheshwara Sutrani. There are 14 of them. Oh, you want to look, etc. Here, as you see, because this is important for his Ashtadhyayi, because his Ashtadhyayi Sutras, they refer to these Varanas in this order very heavily. It relies on this. So if you see here, where the Kha is there, Kha is here, right? Kha. And Ra is ending here. Ra. So between Kha and Ra, which are the Vyanjanas? Is here Kha, Fa, Cha, Tha, Tha, Cha, Ta, Ta, Ka, Pa, Sha, Sha, Sa. Right? So this is as a abbreviation. So starting with Kha and Ra. So it's called Kharvarna. Why? Because between Kha and Ra in this Maheshwara Sutras, so all those letters lie. So they are not in the same order, but you can see there is a Ka, there is Kha, then Cha, Cha, Ta, Tha, there is Ta here, Ta, Tha, Ta, Tha, Pa, Pha, there is Pa here, and then Sha, Sha, Sa. You see? So all those letters are very cleverly in the sequence which you see here, right? That is what we circled. So that is why they are called Kharvarnaha. In other words, Karkasha Vyanjanani. So similarly, rest of the Vyanjanas, that is all these, whatever rest is there. And these are called Mrudu Vyanjanani, or soft. Mrudu Vyanjanani. And if you look at the Maheshwara Sutras again, so you see all these between Ha and Sha. So they are called Hash Vyanjanani. Hashvarnaha. Why? Again you see, where is Ha?
I have a question.
Starting from Ha. Ha, starting here, and where is Sha? Here. So here we have Kar, and between this Ha and Sha, all the Mrudu Vyanjanas are there.
But in
Any question?
But in the Khar group, there is also half Ya and half Ra.
So in the Maheshwara Sutras are, when we read them, and read in the sense, they are arranged like this. But when using in the actual Ashtadhyayi Sutras, the ending letter is ignored. They are not taken into account. Okay. Only these first letters of each sutra has to be considered. That is a good question. So in this Khar we have Ka, Fa, Cha, Ta, but this last letters, they are just for supporting the sutra pronunciation. They do not have any role in the Ashtadhyayi Sutras. Okay. Same thing goes with the Hash also. As you go with the Hash, starting Ha, but there is a Ta here, Na here, so they are ignored. So if we say, for example, Jash, so Jash is this one, this starting with Ja and Sha. But if in Ashtadhyayi Sutra, whenever there is a Jash is coming, we will have to take only the first Ja, we have to ignore the last letter in the Sutra. Okay, so coming back to this. So you see here, because after Sa, Trayas, Va is there, which is a Mrudu Varna or Hash Varna, one of the Hash Varnas. So that's why it's changing to O, Trayavimshati. And here Trayas Trimshat. After Trayas, there is a Ta, which is a Khar Varna or Karkasha Vyanjanam. So it doesn't change to O. So it is Trayas Trimshat. Same thing you see here, Chatur. So Chatur is the word, not Chatus. Chatur is the word, and it becomes Chatur Vimshati. Right? Chatur, you can also assume Visarga there. Okay. So Chatur Vimshati. Again there is a Mrudu Vyanjanam, and here Karkasa Vyanjanam becomes Chatus. This doesn't become O here because there is a U before Visarga, Chatur. So that is why if there is a O before Visarga like Traya, it changes to O, Trayo. Again you see them here in this each. Here you see each again. Janaki Prasadam. Where is each here in the Maheshwara Sutra? Starting with E, which is here, right? E. And where is Cha? Here. So each means all the letters between E and Cha, not including Cha, but including E. So E, O, and again, ignore these last letters. E, U, A, O, I, O. So this is, all these letters are considered when we say ich. So, so in this case here, ich plus visarga, which is here, and ash. Ash is again mrudu varna. As you say, we say hash is mrudu vanjanam. Right? Hash is mrudu vanjanam because ha is here and sha is here. Ash is mrudu vanjanam because all these are vanjanam. But if you say ash, that is starts with a and ends in sha here. What does it mean? Ash means all the swaras all the swaras and all the mrudu vanjanas to sha. So that includes, ash includes ach plus hash. Ach means all the swaras. All the swaras are ach. And similarly, all the vanjanas are starting from ha to la. All the vanjanas are hal. Hal represents all the vanjanas, and ach represents all the swaras. But ash represents all the swaras plus all the mrudu vanjanas. So here when you say ich plus visarga plus ash, in this case we have chatu, right? Chatu, that is one of the ich varna, right? Ich is having u also in that. So ich is, so chatu is, u is one of the ich. Then there is a visarga chatuhu plus there is a ash. Ash is swara or mrudu vanjanam. So if you look at this one, chatuhu plus vimshati, there is a u which is one of the ich, and then there is a visarga chatuhu plus vimshati va. Va is one of the ashvarna because it is mrudu vanjanam. So what happens here? It changes to ra. Like for example, Guruhu plus Brahma, Gurur Brahma, Marutihi Asya, Marutiryasya, Purato Marutiryasya, Vande Raghanandanam. Like that. Example. So you say Guru Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, and Gurur Vishnu. There is va there. Gurur Devo, da is Mrudu Varna, Mrudu Vanjanam, the Gurur Devo. So here, ich plus ra plus ash. So that one is coming here. Chatur Vimshati. Similarly, Chatustrinshat. So here, Chatuhu plus Trinshat. Again, there is a Kharvana. Simple to remember, you don't have to go through this. Simple thing is, if there is a Mrudu Varna, then that's a Refa, Ra. Ra comes to Chatur. And then if it is a Karkasha Varna, it is Sakara, Sa, Chatustrinshat. If there is a other than a, u, etc. in this. But if it is a, then if the Mrudu Varna, it changes to o. If there is a Karkasha Varna, it changes to sa. Trayavimshati, Chatustrinshat, like this. Same thing you see everywhere here. Trayaha plus Chatvarimshat. Cha is a Karkasha Vanjanam. So it becomes Trayashchatvarimshat. Similarly, Chatuhu plus Chatvarimshat. Cha being a Karkasha becomes Chatushchatvarimshat. And so on. And here, Trayaha Panchashat. Now here there is something different happening. There is a Trayaha Panchashat. We said that it's a Karkasha Vanjanam. So it should be like Sa. Trayas Panchashat. Trayas Panchashat. See how it becomes difficult to say. Trayaspa. Difficult to say. So there are different sandhi happening here. So it remains a visarga, or when pronouncing it becomes like a half visarga. When we say Trayah Panchashat, you can say Trayah Panchashat with a visarga, or it becomes Trayah Panchashat, Panchashat, like that. So similarly, Chatah Panchashat. So that kind of pronunciation, like a half visarga, Panchashat, that is, what is it? It is called, what is it called, Sujata Bhagini? That pronunciation, the phonetics, when we say half visarga like this, what is it called? So where do you see that here? Up. So here you see ach. Trayaha plus visarga plus pa or pha. Pa or pha. So it's called upadhvaniya. That sound is called upadhvaniya. Like you say mamakaha pandavaha. Because mamaka pandava. Vivishana sridha patu. Vivishana sridha patu. Sridha patu. That half visarga kind of sound which falling on pa immediately sridha patu. That sound is called upadhvaniya sound. So chatushchatvarishat, so there you see visarga plus cha or cha or sha. Chatushchatvarishat, so that is changing to sha here. Sha. Like here pandavaha cha, pandavash cha, sha cha. The same thing you see here. Chatushchatvarishat case you saw chatuh plus chatvarishat, chatush sha, it becomes sha, not sa, because sa changes to sha then later. Sha. Chatushchatvarishat, because there is cha here. And because there is a pa here, it becomes a padhvaniya sound. Chatuh panchashat. So those are the common things you see here. There's nothing complicated happening here. And then here shad, here again, if there is a mrudu varna like va, it becomes a da, da. And if there is a karkasha varna like ta, following ta, it becomes shat. It doesn't change to da. So shad vimshatihi, shat trimshat. And again there is a karkasha varna cha, not changing to da, shat panchatvarimshat. Again here karkasha varna pa, no changing to da, shat panchashat. You can see the similar thing happening at other places also.
This hyphen between the shad and vimshati, so do you, is there some reason you put it there?
Yeah, just to, it is not necessary, but if I write it, if I don't put hyphen in the to read, it may be difficult. Just to keep it clear, like what it is, I can write it.
Okay.
Say, where can I write here? Or typing. So if I type it here, how it will come? It depends. No, it's not necessary, but let's say shad. So yeah, this is fine. But sometimes the word goes under that, the depending on the font you are using, and then that E comes here below before that, just to avoid that.
Okay, yes. Okay, it's just for like convenience of writing them. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So one Shashti onwards they are shown here. One important thing to note here is that Eka Shashti, this one column, Shashti, this is important to pronunciation. T, this is Alpa Pranata, not Tha, not Shashti, Shashti. Okay, so keep that in mind, because the other one, which is here, for only 6, for saying 6 we have this shut here. Shut. Shut. Yeah, shut. Now, when there is no tha here, both here and then 60 also, there is no tha. Shashtha, shashtihi, shashtihi. Now, other thing to note here, so I have written here Navadasha and then Vimshati and so on. But Navavimshati, there is an alternate here, Ekona Trinshat. So what is this Ekona Trinshat? This is an alternate word, which is basically can be used with any number, but generally you see the usage like this before then next the set starts. Ekona Trinshat. So there you see Trinshat here and there is Ekona here. Ekona means Eka plus, it is made of 2 words, Eka plus Una. Okay. Una, Eka plus Una. Una means less. So 1 less. Eka Una is 1 less. 1 less than Trinshat is 30. 1 less than 30 is 29. So Navavimshati is Nava, 9 plus Vimshati. So Nava plus Vimshati is 29. But Ekona plus Trinshat, Ekona is 1 less, that is like minus 1 plus 30, which is again 29. The same thing can be used for this Vimshati also, and when you add Ekona here, Ek becomes Ekona Vimshati, then it becomes 19 only. Navadasha, alternatively you can say Ekona Vimshati. Same thing goes with any number here. Navatrinshat is there, instead of you have what is 39, other word should be
Is there a logic to that using Ekona to indicate 1 less 10 or 1 less 20 or 1 less 30? Is there a logic to that?
Yeah, logic I just now said, right? Ekona means 1, Eka plus Una.
Yeah, but we can also say Navavimshati, right? Navavimshati.
Yeah, you can say Navavimshati. Yes.
Why do we do that for the only 9, the number 9? Either we can say Navavimshatihi or Ekona Trimshat. Is there a convention to use either of them in a place, or?
No, there is no rule or logic which one to use. Like Navavimshati, Ekona Trimshat, which one you want you can use. 19 for 19, 29, etc. And why is it used at that place only? And because it's convenience, Ekona. You can also say Dvi-Una, right? You can 2 less, and then becomes 28. That is possible, 3-Una. Yeah. But it's just too simple to say Ekona.
Okay. There's no specialty about that. Okay.
No. And also note that these numbers are just indicative, right? Now, from 1 to 10 it is important. After that, how do you form the actual number? It is up to you. These are just you can say representative words for those numbers. When we say let's say 15 or 16. Rama went to Vanavasa for 14 years. So Chaturdasha Varshani, like you can say. Ramaha Chaturdasha Varshani Vanam Gataha. So we can use 14 Chaturdasha, which is number or the word shown here for number. But in the Ramayanam, you will many places you will find Nama Pancha, Panchanama. It is the 4 plus 9. So they form the word 14 using different combinations.
Okay, so does this mean that it is numbers come together, then somehow it means that they are added. If two numbers or three numbers come together.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, yeah. Now also you'll have to be careful there. It also many times depends on the context. For example, Jamadagni, not Jamadagni, Jamadagni, which is Parashurama. He went around the globe 21 times, and then he killed all the Kshatriyas. Kshatriya Nirmoolanam Krutavan. Atra 21 times. What do we hear 21 times? What is the word here? This one. Ekavimshati. So we can say Ekavimshati Varam 21 times. Bhupradakshana Krutva Kshatriya Nirmoolanam Krutavan. So we can say that. But normally in the Puranas, in literature, you don't find this Ekavimshati because of the chandas also. Many times you find alternate words like Tri Saptavaram, Tri Sapta, 3 and 7. There we are not adding. Tri Saptavaram means it is 3 into 3 times 7. 3 Saptavaram. 3 times 7. 3 into 7 times. So Navanamatihi, God, easy to find. So only thing here when we talk about this Sandhi we saw, little bit you find it easier, I say, for this Ashiti. Ashiti is starting with which is a swara, unlike the other words which are starting with a Vyanjanam, and they form the Vyanjana Sandhi here, Sandhis we saw. But here is starting with the swara, so it is easy. So when we say Eka plus Ashiti, because here Eka plus Saptati, this is Eka Saptati, etc. But now we are adding the swara here. Swara after Eka. Eka plus Ashiti. So what you say? After the ending of Eka is again sounding, plus we have coming after that, so it becomes doubled. It becomes Ekashitihi. You see here, Ekashiti. It is not Ekashitihi. Eka plus Ashiti is Ekashitihi. Similarly, we have Dvi here. Dvi plus Ashiti. Again, after, so end of Dvi is E, and there is Together, they are forming this Ya. That is what you see here. Dvyashitihi. Dvyashitihi. This is Divya. And then, means it is like something like here. And the font is looking like this together. Dva, half the, half wa, and ya. Divyashitihi. Similarly, we have 3 plus 3 at the end. We are coming E like 3, same thing. So Triyashitihi. Now Chatur plus Ashiti. So we are coming Chaturashitihi. Pancha, there is what is happening? Pancha. It should be Panchashitihi. Mistype writing. Shadashitihi. I need to fix it. Saptashiti, Ashtashiti, Navashitihi. Okay. Is it fixed here? Yeah, here you see Panchashitihi.
Excuse me. Could you go to the previous page from the web page? Shouldn't the come before the wa?
Which one? Dvashiti?
Dvashiti, yeah.
Yeah, Dvashiti is like this. The, wa, yeah.
I mean, how that's quite difficult to pronounce that compound letter.
Pronounce or writing?
No, writing, sorry.
Yeah, don't write it like, just write it like this. That's fine.
Okay.
You don't have to write it like this. So you can also write like this, whichever is easy. When pronunciation remains the same. This is just a lipi or script. Use however you write. You write it like this, you write it like this, or you write it like this. It's all same.
धन्यवाद.
Now starts the Shatam. Now up to Navanamati, what did we see here? Nitya Strilinge, Nitya Ekavachanam. Now Shatam onwards, different things happening, different rule, different types. Now Shatam, you see, it is not, obviously it is doesn't like Navanamati, which if you want to use this in a Vibhakti table, which we discussed last week, that which letter, which Shabda we are going to use, if you want to use as Vibhaktis, because each number here can have its own Vibhakti table, right? It can be used in Tritiya, Ekavachanam, Dvivachanam, Bahuvachanam, Shashti, whatever. Any Vibhakti, any Vachanam, not any Vachanam. This is always Ekavachanam. Any Vibhakti can be there. Right? So, and this is Strilinga, from Vimushati to Navanamati. So which model or pattern does it follow? Anybody remember? Was
it Strilinga?
Strilinga ending in E. It means Shati.
Yeah.
Navanamati. Which one? Sujata beginning?
Mati?
Mati. Like Mati. So you let refer to that, and about those Panchashat, etc., they are also Strilinga, we saw that. This Panchashat, that is not ending in E, Chatvarim, Shatrim, Shat. So those will be like what? Halanta Strilinga. And we just discussed why is it called Hal. Hal means Venjanam. Hal Anta, ending in Venjanam. Strilinga Shabda. Which one we are going to follow? Panchashat, Trimshat.
Sarit?
You follow Sarit?
Sorry. So that you know. Now, coming to Shatam, Shatam is Napunsakalingam, like a Vanam, Phalam, simple, Jalam. Shatam. So, Shatam means 100. Sahasram, 1000. Ayutam. So they are Napunsakalingam, like Jalam. And these are again, now how to say 200 or 102 or 135, for example. So you will have to look at what is 35. Pancha Trinshat. Pancha plus Trinshat. Pancha Trinshat. So you can say Pancha Trinshat Shatam or Pancha Trinshat Adhika Shatam. Pancha Trinshat Adhika means Adhika means addition, in addition. So Pancha Trinshat Adhika means 135 plus Shatam, 135. Now how do you say 3500 then? 3500. Panchatrinshat Shatam is 135 or Panchatrinshat Adhika Shatam is 135. 3500 can be said like Shatanam Panchatrinshat. Shatanam means how many hundreds are there? 35, like that. Means Shatanam we are using Shashti Vibhakti there, Bhavachanam, like Ramanam, Shatanam, Vananam, Phalanam, Shashti Bhavachanam, Shatanam, Panchatrinshat, means there are hundreds of 35s, again 3500. So these kinds of usages you find generally with others also, Sahasramayatam, wherever there. Sahasranam Ashtadasha. But sometimes you find like the shortcuts also, like we say 3500, Panchatrinshat Shatam. Sometimes, rarely you find like that, which might mean 3500 also, but which is not recommended generally. So when you say Ekashatam, it is 101. Dvishatam, 102. It's not 200. You can, for 200 you can say Shata, Shatadvayam is better. But there is no hard and fast rule written like that anyway. So, but other numbers you find here, so I don't know, these are 10 raised to 10 and so on too. And one thing here to note, Kotihi. Again, this becomes Strilingam. Others are like, some of them are pulling there, Shatam, obviously indicating that like Phalam, Jalam, Napumsakanim, Laksham, etc., Bodham. Some areas you see like Kharvaha, Nikharvaha, Shankhaha. Obviously, when it is ending like Ramaha, it is Pullinga. All these are Pullinga. This is also Pullinga. This is Napumsakalingam. And Kotihi comes in Strilingam. On Koti, which is what? 10 million? Which is also available on this table here. Yeah. Any question? समयः कः? अद्य वासरः कः?
भानुवासरः.
Okay, अद्य भानुवासरः. Now, samaya kaha, here we have numbers here. Numbers are involved. So that's why we cover the numbers first to read the clock.
Dasha, Dvadasha.
So obviously there are whole numbers we know. So what is Eka and Dvi, Tri, Chatur, Pancha, Shad, Sapta, Ashta, Nava, Dasha, Ekadasha, Dvadasha. So these whole numbers we know. But now minutes, what are we going to say? To keep it simple for now, so we are dividing this into 4 quarters, the circle into 4 quarters, and each quarter is called Pada. Pada. Pada means quarter. Pada means foot also, but quarter. Then half is called Ardha. So Pada, Ardha. So using this, now we can form the words for this time, at least which is nearest to this quarter or half. So we already saw Ekona Una Shabd. There was a Una. Una means less. Ekona means one less, but Una we can use or combine it with any other word to make it less of something, less by that something. Similarly, I said Adhika also, like Panchashad Adhika something, Shatam. So that Adhika, which is more than something, in addition to something, can be used with anything else. So using this pada, artha, una, adhika, and then combining this with this whole numbers, so we can come up with the closest quarter to tell the time. For example, here dvadasha vadanam is here to indicate 12. Obviously, this dvadasha vadanam. Now we are saying vadanam to indicate what is the time here. Vadanam. What is vadanam here? What is the meaning of vadanam?
Clock.
Not
Hour.
Huh?
Time of the hour that is telling the time.
So think.
Is the time.
Yeah, time. Telling the time. Telling. Yeah. So when we say vadanam, think a little bit of how that word could be made of. What is the etymology again? Yesterday in the yesterday's class, Karakam, we talked about derived words like Dasharathi. Remember it? The Pratipadikam was coming from Pratipada, becomes Pratipadikam, and similarly Dasharathi originating from Dasharatha. So it's a derived word from Dasharatha, Dasharathi. Jamadagni, Jamadagni. Like that here, Vadanam should have been derived from what? Like Dasharathi, Dasharatha. Vadana. Dasharatha changes Vadana. Now Vadana, removing that na, if you say just Vada, are you familiar with this Vada? What is Vadati?
Vadati means speak.
Vadati, Vadami.
Speaking.
Speaking, saying, speaking. So Vadati. So this word is coming from that Vadati. Or that Vada is the verb root. Vadati becomes the Kriyapadam. And here Vadanam means speaking. Speaking, Vadanam. Okay. Like we have Gacchati means going, Gamanam. So Gacchati means goes. Gamanam means going, act of going. Gamanam. So here also Vadati is speaking or saying. Vadanam is act of speaking, and Vadanam is act of telling, or act of Vada. Vadanam, or you can say Vadayati, Vadyam. You might have heard of Vadyam, right? Vadyam, Kimasti Vadyam. What is Vadyam? Mridangam, Vadyam, instrument of
Music, I guess.
Musical instrument, like Vadyam, Vadya, Tala. So this is this. So Vadyam is something which plays something. You are making it to play something. So Vadyam is an instrument here, but it can be anything. That Vadyam. So here Vadanam is you are making it to say something, speak. Means speaks means that is, it doesn't have to ring the bell like a musical instrument, but it is trying to say something, right? It is indicating the time to you. It is speaking or saying or representing the time through that face, clock face. So Dvadasha Vadanam is the 12 o'clock. So if you want to translate it like that, it is telling you that it is 12th hour. Similarly, Navavadanam. So just add Nava, whatever number is there to that Vadanam, Navavadanam. So Vadanam is again Napunsakalingam. And similarly, whole number is not problem. Like, how do you say 3 o'clock?
Trayavadanam?
So 3. For Eka, Dvi, 3, we use these numbers only. Okay? And Chatur also. Ekavadanam, Dvivadanam, Trivadanam, Chaturvadanam. And Pancha onwards we use this. Panchavadanam, Shatvadanam, because there is a verb which is a Bodha varna after Shat, it changes to Shad, the Shadvadanam, Saptavadanam, Ashtavadanam, Avavadanam, Dashavadanam, Ekadashavadanam, Dwadashavadanam. So 12. So don't use this Na, Sha, etc. Just Ekavadanam, Divadanam, 3, Chaturvadanam, and then Pancha, Shad, Saptavadanam, Ashtavadanam, Nava, Dasha, Ekadasha, Dwadasha. Okay? And these, note that there is no gap, means this is a single word, Dwadashavadanam. Dwadasha is not a separate word. Nama is not a separate word in this. So you'll have to say and write it like this single word. This is one word. Dwadashavadanam, all this. Now, when we want to add a quarter, so we are adding Pada. Pada. Now, for adding, the one word was there, Adhika. Adhika. Now we can use Adhika. Like Padadhika Chaturvadanam. That is possible. Like we said for 35 and 100, Pancha Trimshadadhika. Pancha Trimshadadhika Shatam. Like that, Pada Adhika we can add and then become Padadhika. Padadhika Chaturvadanam we can say. But to keep it short, there is another word, just a Sa. Sapada. Sa means it is short form of Saha. Mitraihi Saha, Mitrena Saha. We have seen that. Mitrena Saha means with the friend, like that. Mitrena Saha. So that Saha means with. So we can use the short of this like Sa. Sapada Chaturvadanam means with the quarter. Chatur, 4. Chatur with the quarter, adding the quarter. Sapada Chaturvadanam. That means 4 and a quarter for 15. Similarly, we add this Ardha, becomes Sa plus Ardha. So again, as we saw, A plus A becomes A. Right? Sa is ending with A, and then A, starting again, next word is starting with A, then together becomes A, but together is Sardha, Dvi, anything. You can say Sardha Chaturvadanam, Sardha Trivadanam, Sardha Navavadanam is half in addition to 9. So Sardha Navavadanam is 9.5. So that is for the half. Then the less also you can use Una here. Pada plus Una. Pada plus Una is Pada plus Una. So again, this Pada is ending in A, and then the next word is starting in O, so together it becomes O. So it becomes Padona, anything again. Padona Nama, Padona 3, Padona Chatur, Padona Pancha, anything you can do with this Padona. So we have Sapada for quarter addition, Sardha for half addition, and Padona for one less quarter. So using this, we can easily tell the clock, at least to the nearest quarter and half. Okay. Idanim samaya kaha. Sujata begin. Idanim samaya kaha.
Saptadika Saptavadanam.
Saptadika? No, with this, use this Sapada, etc. Nearest quarter.
And that whatever picture is there I have to tell?
No. In your clock, on your clock, what is the nearest quarter?
सपादसप्तवादनम्.
सपादसप्तवादनम् इदानीं समयः. So that is the nearest quarter, and some abhyasa exercises are here. But if you want to, again, as Sujata Bhagini was saying, if you want to exactly make it 7 after 7, you can just use, like as she was saying, sapa. What did you say? Saptadhika. Saptadhika saptavadanam.
Saptadhika saptavadanam.
7 after 7.
7
minutes after 7.
Yeah.
You can use all the combinations if you want to, but if you want to keep it simple to the nearest quarter, at least you can start practicing this. Okay, any question on the clock? No question? प्रज्वलमहोदय समयः कः तत्र?
यत्र समय सार्धचतुर्वादनं.
सार्धचतुर्वादनं. So now we have the next topic here using kada. Kada for when. Shikshakah kada pathayati. So here the answer is dashavadane pathayati. So these are some examples with the dashavadane, using the time, exact time. So this kada is when. You can also say shikshakah kada pathayati. If you want to say the day, you can use the day also. When is just an open question, right? It is not exactly asking the time, but it can be used for the time also or day also. Right? Kada pathayati, when saha mangalavasare pathayati or dashavadane pathayati. Can use this mitrani. So these ones. Okay, Shivastvini can read this.
मित्राणि कदा गच्छति? मित्राणि एकवादने गच्छति. गच्छन्ति. Sorry. भोजनं कदा भवति? भोजनं सार्धैकवादने भवति.
So what happened here? Sardha plus ek. So Sardha
1:30.
Also pada. Yeah. So because not shown here. That is one example. So for example, here Sardha ek. So we are adding that Sardha to the number. So, and then Eka is coming there after that. Ekavadanam. Because this is the Swara, not a Vyanjana. If it is like Sardha Panchavadanam, that is simple. Sardha Shadvadanam. But here we are adding the Eka, which is the Swara. So A plus A is changing to I. That is why it becomes Sardhaikavadanam. So this has to be pronounced or said like this single word, like Sardhaika. Don't make it like Sardhaikavadane. Some people say like that. Am Sardhaikavadane agacchami. That's okay for just to understand at the first level. But it is not Sardhaikavadane. It is to be get together one word, Sardhaikavadane. Okay? To be pronounced like that. Similarly, if it is Ashtavadane, 8:30. How do you say 8:30?
सार्धाष्टवादन.
plus changing to a.
Sardha.
Like we had that ashtashiti, ekashiti, panchashiti, was there. So similarly, sardhashtavadane, not sardhashtavadane. Sardhashtavadane agacchami. No, it is a single compound word. Sardhashtavadane. Same thing with padona also. If you use padona, again if or a comes after that, so the sandhi is going to happen. Padona plus eka. Padona eka means 12:45. So quarter to 1. Padona eka. So what is the? How do you say that? Not padona eka vadane. There has to be sandhi here. O plus a becomes
Padonaka.
Padonaika vadane. Similarly, Padona plus ashta. So again, say ha becomes Padona ashta vadane. Okay, next one.
Okay. Yeah. Vayam kada kridamah. Vayam padonatri vadane kridamah.
Yeah, just
Bhavan.
keep in mind when you say it has to sound like Padona Trivadane, not Pado Natri Vadane.
Oh, Padonatri vadane. Together.
Together only, but when you say Padona Trivadane, so because Padona is one component word, Trivadane is a different.
Oh, okay.
Together they are forming, but
so
do not say
Padona
like
Trivadane.
Don't bracket here like Pado Natri Vadane.
Yeah. Padona Trivadane. Is that how you say it? Oh.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you. Bhavan kada gayati. Bhavan sapadat no sapadashtavadane gayati. Is that right?
So right now we just now said that O plus A becomes A. Sapada plus ashta is sapadashtavadane.
Sapadashtavadane gayati. Bhavati kada pujayati. Bhavati patrah pujayati.
Pratah.
Pratah, sorry. Balakah kada nidrati. Balakah sayam nidrati.
Yeah, so as I said, kada is just open question when, so you can use any word like to indicate whenever, whatever. It could be day, time in the, like pratah means morning, sayam is evening. It could be just part of the day, time of the day, or exact time like this. So anything can be used at like bhavati kada pujayati aham somavasare pujayami. Aham shanivasare nidrami. Like that you can use. But your pratah and sayam is given as examples for morning and evening.
So patraha and sayam are avayam. Ade, Mahodaya?
Yes, avayam. No, it is not patra. It is not patra. Pratah.
Oh, sorry. Pratah. Yeah. Thank you.
So these ones. So sahodarah kada chitram pashyati. So begin with Prajwal Mother. Sahodarah kada. So you can say anything like it doesn't matter. Sahodarah kada chitram pashyati. Any answer.
Sahodara pratah chitram pashyati.
Okay. Right in the morning. He's going to watch a movie.
Maybe he's in vacation, so it's okay.
Yeah, but it's okay. Chitram, and it doesn't need to be movie. It is any picture. So. Like any like devasya chitram pashyati. अम्बा कदा ग्रन्थालयं गच्छति? प्रज्वल
अम्बा द्विवादनं ग्रन्थालयं गच्छति.
द्विवादने, we are in सप्तमी.
ओके,
द्विवादने
ग्रन्थालयं गच्छति.
नेक्स्ट टू सुजाता भगिनी.
भवान् कदा खादति? भवान् 10 वादने खादति. भवती कदा उत्तिष्ठति? भवती प्रातः काले उत्तिष्ठति.
Yeah, pratak kale, or prata is also enough, but you can add pratak kale also.
Pratak kale.
Next to Neela Bhagini.
श्वः सूर्योदयः कदा भवति? श्वः सूर्योदयः पञ्चवादने षड्वादने भवति.
So how do you say 6:30?
षड्वादने.
सार्धषड्वादने भवति. नेक्स्ट वन.
अद्य सूर्यास्तः कदा भवति? अद्य सूर्यास्तः 8 भवति.
सूर्यास्तः
सूर्यास्तः
8
भवति.
So sunrise, sunset. Next to Janaki Prasad.
लोकयानं कदा चलति? What is lokayana?
Like a bus or train or whatever, the mass transit.
Lokayana सप्तवादने चलति.
सप्तवादने चलति.
Viramakala. What is the meaning of Viramakala?
Viramakala is a break, vacation. Or a break.
Viramakala Sanivasare Bhavati.
Viramakala Sanivasare Bhavati. Or if it is a break in a day, that also you can actually specify a time. Viramakala द्वादशवादने भवति.
महोदय, भवान् कदा खादति? भवान् 10 वादने खादति वा? Can I say that? भवान् 10 वादने खादति वा?
Yeah, we'll come. Let's finish this last one.
Okay.
Pathanasya, you can. You want to say, Janaki?
Pathanasya samaya kada? Pathanasya samaya sapta. I don't know what ending to put there.
Saptavadane, samaya kada? Pathanasya, this is. So this is slightly differently worded. Patanasya samaya kada. So it is not asking Bhavan kada khadati or Bhavan kada pathati. So this is differently worded. Samaya kada. So now we can answer in the similar way. Patanasya samaya dashavadanam.
Okay.
Or we can also say Patanasya samaya dashavadane bhavati. दशवादनम् अस्ति.
Okay, I have to work on the beginning of the book. I have already started, but it will take some time. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So here, few other things everyone should know here, that what kind of usage is correct. Sometimes these are confusing. For example, when we want to ask what is the time now, because now we are used to saying the answer like Dvadashavadanam, etc. Generally, the tendency for the question is like Kati Vadanam, right? When we want to ask Dvadashavadanam, Kati Vadanam. Kati, we know this stands for how many. So we should not be using how many Vadanam. That doesn't make sense. How many? This is a Bahuvachanam, Kati. How many? So we are not going to ask like this. So we are going to ask Samayah Kaha. Samayah Kaha, Ekavadanam. Samayah Kaha. Again, Ghanta Kaha we are not going to ask. So what Ghanta? Ghanta, bell. So this is not generally, this is not used. So Samayah Kaha. Again, Ekavadanam, Divadanam. This is the question how it should be asked, and then answer is coming like this, Ekavadanam, etc. Again, as we noted before, these are not two separate words. We are not going to say Ekam Vadanam or Dve Vadanam, Trayah or Trini Vadanam, like that. This is a compound word. That is why we are making it like with Sardha, Ekona also, single word, compound word. So now, Bhavan kada khadati va.
भवान् कदा खादति भवान् 10 वादने खादति वा?
Answer? Are you asking what? Answer?
Yeah, answer is va, I can say, or kim.
No, why do you want to make the answer as a question? Are you asking a reverse question?
Bhavan kada khadati, I mean Bhavan, I am telling other person, Bhavan 10 vadane khadati va. I am asking them whether you want to eat food at 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Is that okay?
So do you want to form the question like, do you eat at 10 o'clock?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, yes and no. So here let's take a simple example. Now that raises the question where the va should be used. Right? Generally, no. We take a simpler sentence like, let's say, are you coming home? How do you form the sentence?
Are you coming home? Tvam ghar
Gruham
ayati.
Agachati.
Agachati va.
So everyone important here. So Bhavan or Bhavati, whatever, Gruham Agachati. If you say only this much, what does this mean? Bhavan Graham Agachati. This is a statement. You
are coming home.
You are coming home. This is a statement. Now we want to ask the question, are you coming home? We want a question. So there we use the kim word. Kim is the question word, avayam, which you have seen before, to make it a sentence. So we can ask, Kim Bhavan Graham Agachati? Or Bhavan Graham Agachati Kim? So that is how it has to be worded as a sentence, as a question.
Yes.
Now, using va for a question is not Sanskritam, though you see, though you hear many times, which is not correct. Huh?
Sambhashana, when we are talking, sometimes we hear that va.
Yeah, so it's widespread. It's widely being misused, not only in
it's
in
not
the
correct.
classes also, not many at the higher levels also it is used, which is not correct.
Okay.
Now, what is va, which comes in the later in the book in a different va, we'll use that separately. Va is not used for question.
Question. Okay.
Kim, use kim there.
Okay. Dhanyawada Mahodaya.
But
one question. So is it okay like to raise the tone at the end? Does it mean like we are asking question like Bhavan Griham Agachati? So
yes,
work without kim, but then we somehow raise the tone at the end.
Yeah, Bhavan Griham Agachati. Yes, yeah, that is right. Bhavan Griham Agachati. That is, yeah, you can change the tone. The kim also changes the tone if you add it. Bhavan Griham Agachati kim. Yes, but not va.
Okay.
Va is differently, has a different meaning, different usage, but unfortunately it's used and it has been taught like that. So this is why I say this painfully. Sorry, why I say this, keep saying this, because it's painful to hear this, and in spite of saying this and showing this, because at the beginners level, people learn it like this, the questions forming with va, they stick to it, and later on, they, even after reading this and learning this, saying this, and showing them the proofs, they do not change, because initially, when it comes to them, when they learn it at their initial stage, difficult to let it go. They keep on using va. But I hope just stop using it.
I got it, Mahodaya. Dhanyawada.
Mahodaya, patanasya samaya is study time?
Yeah. Study, reading.
Oh, thank you.
We'll stop here today. What is next year? Chaturthi Bhakti already done. Kimartham we did. Kidrusham is the next topic for us. We'll take it up next week. So any other questions so far? Not only for today is what we discussed, any other question? Any other topic we studied before, any other vibhakti? Yeah, today with today's recording link in the email, I'll send you some homework, and some of the homework which you can do from these pages, but I will send you some other additional homework on the numbers. So, dhanyawada, namaskara.